Have you ever wondered what secrets hide within the pages of books that have defied the march of time? Imagine looking into ancient manuscripts that predate our modern world, revealing stories that have endured for centuries. And today, we're diving into the mystery of the 10 oldest books ever. These books are like time travelers, keeping stories alive for hundreds of years. Imagine flipping through pages that have been around longer than your grandma. If you're excited to hear about these ancient stories, just drop a yes in the comments, and let's get started on this cool journey together. Number 1. Madrid Codex. Estimated age 494 years old. Let's start our video with the secrets of the Madrid Codex, also known as the Tro-Cortesianus Codex. It's this super cool ancient book from the ancient Maya people, dating all the way back to 1521 AD. This treasure wasn't unearthed in the heart of the Maya civilization. Instead, it made a surprising journey to Spain in the 1860s. Now, the experts are having a bit of a debate about when exactly this thing was made. Some think it's even older than the Spanish takeover in the 16th century. Written in Yucatecan, a Mayan language, this codex spills the beans on the Maya civilization. It's like a secret code, revealing all kinds of insights into their world. Imagine flipping through the pages of history and uncovering the mysteries of the Maya civilization. Pretty awesome, right? And guess where this precious book resides now? It's comfortably resting in the Museo de America in Madrid, Spain, giving people a chance to connect with the mysteries of the Maya culture. So, if you ever find yourself in Madrid, don't forget to swing by and say hello to the Madrid Codex. Number 2. Gutenberg Bible. Estimated age 559 years old. Next one is super cool. We're talking about the OG of printed books, the Gutenberg Bible. It's basically the rock star of books, holding a special place in the Guinness Book of World Records as the oldest mechanically printed book. This ancient beauty, also known as the 42-line Bible, is like the granddaddy of them all, printed around 559 years ago. Picture this. Johannes Gutenberg, the printing pioneer, made the first copies back in 1454-1455 AD in Mainz, Germany. Now, what makes it a big deal is that it's the oldest printed book in the West that used movable type. Sure, China had some early birds in the printing game like the Diamond Sutra, but the Gutenberg Bible was a game changer for the West. It's like the rock star of printing technology at that time. Get this. There are only 48 of these originals floating around, and only 21 of them are complete copies. The New York Public Library got its hands on one of these iconic editions. Imagine holding a piece of history in your hands, right? It's like time traveling through the pages of the world's first printed book. So, next time you think about old books, remember the Gutenberg Bible. Number 3. Celtic Psalter. Estimated age 938 years old. Okay, let's talk about the story of Scotland's oldest book, the Celtic Psalter. Imagine it as a tiny book of psalms, like a pocket-sized time machine from the 11th century. It's like Scotland's own special version of the famous Book of Kells. Now, let's jump to 2009. The Celtic Psalter got its moment to shine at the University of Edinburgh. It was like a superstar making its debut, and people were all excited to see it. So, why is this tiny book such a big deal? Well, it's not just old, it's like a sneak peek into Scotland's history. The psalms inside tell important stories, and the book itself is a real piece of art. The designs on its pages are like ancient versions of really cool doodles. Imagine doodles that have been around for over 1,000 years. As visitors strolled through the exhibit, they got to feel a connection to the past. Holding the Celtic Psalter was like holding hands with history. So, next time you hear about ancient books, remember the little guy from Scotland, the Celtic Psalter, keeping it real for over 1,000 years. Number 4. Diamond Sutra. Estimated age 1145 years old. Next up is the story of the Diamond Sutra, the world's oldest surviving dated printed book, and it's got quite a tale to tell. This ancient treasure is a Buddhist holy text, and it proudly takes us back to May 868 AD, making it a real time traveler from ancient China. Do you know what is more interesting? The Diamond Sutra is no ordinary scroll. It's filled with Chinese characters printed on gray paper, adding to its mystique. But wait, there's more. What really makes this text stand out is the little note at the end. It says how a person named Wang Jie created the book, all because his parents told him to. It's like finding a hidden message at the end of an ancient story, revealing the behind-the-scenes action. So, think about it. A Buddhist text, printed in 868 AD, tucked away in a cave, and with a personal touch from Wang Jie. It's like holding history in your hands and getting a glimpse into the ancient world. The Diamond Sutra is not just a book, it's a time capsule with a story that unfolds with every character on its pages. How cool is that? Number 5. Cter Jewish Prayer Book. Estimated age 1,173 years old. In 2013, a real treasure was revealed, a Jewish prayer book, also called a cter, that's been hanging around since approximately 840 AD. But get this, it's not your everyday prayer book. This one comes with a cool feature called Babylonian vowel pointing. It's like a special code that reflects how people in the Middle Ages, known as the Geonim, spoke their language. Now, why is this find so mind-blowing? Imagine flipping through the exact pages that folks in the 9th century used for their prayers. This cter is more than just a book. It's like a magical window into the spiritual world of a time long ago. This ancient prayer book didn't just appear out of nowhere. It made a surprise entrance in the 21st century. It's like a blast from the past, giving us a front row seat to the religious vibes of nearly 1,200 years ago. So, imagine holding history in your hands and saying hello to the prayers of the past. That's the magic of this ancient Siddur. Number 6. Book of Kells. Estimated age 1,213 years old. So, next book has some extra dose of awesomeness. Book of Kells. Housed in the Trinity College Library in Dublin, Ireland, this ancient masterpiece is a labor of love from Celtic monks who were basically artistic superheroes back in 800 AD. Now, the Book of Kells isn't just about words, it's a visual fiesta. Every inch of this illuminated manuscript gospel book is decked out with mind-blowing designs and illustrations. You'll find vibrant colors, intricate patterns, and details so fine that even a magnifying glass might be jealous. And it's not just a pretty face. It's got brains too. The book contains the 4 Gospels of the New Testament, the stories of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
The most likely idea is that the Book of Kells was written by monks.
But wait, the Book of Kells has had quite the adventure surviving Viking raids, hiding in a secret spot, and eventually finding its way to the safety of Trinity College. Now, the text in the Book of Kells is mostly from the Vulgate, but it also includes bits from an older Bible version called the Vetus Latina. People really admire it for its beautiful calligraphy, which is like fancy handwriting, and its stunning insular illumination, which is like super detailed decoration. The Book of Kells got its name from the Abbey of Kells in County Meath, Ireland, where it lived for a super long time. Imagine this book has been a resident there for centuries. So, next time you're in Dublin, swing by Trinity College, find the Book of Kells, and dive into a world where words and art collide in the most spectacular way. Number 7. St. Cuthbert Gospel. Estimated age 1,315 years old. Now, let's dive into Europe's oldest known surviving intact book, the St. Cuthbert Gospel. This little treasure became a celebrity when the British Library scooped it up in 2012 for a whopping $9 million thanks to a fundraising campaign that brought in the big bucks. Talk about a pricey piece of history. Now let me take you back to around 698 AD. St. Cuthbert, an early British Christian leader, gets laid to rest, and what do they bury with him? Yep, the St. Cuthbert Gospel. This book survives some serious drama. But, the Vikings were on the scene, and the book just barely survived their conquests. To avoid those raiders, It made a daring move to Durham, narrowly escaping destruction. Fast forward to 1104 AD, and voila! The St. Cuthbert Gospel was rediscovered. Imagine the surprise when this ancient gem is rediscovered, still intact, and ready to tell its story. The St. Cuthbert Gospel isn't just a book, it's a survivor, a witness to history. So, if you ever find yourself wandering through the British Library, keep an eye out for the St. Cuthbert Gospel. Number 8. Nag Hammadi Library. Estimated age, 1,693 years old. Now let me tell you about another ancient treasure, the Nag Hammadi Library. It's like a time-traveling book club because it's been around for a whopping 1,693 years. Imagine that. So, this library is not typical library with shelves and librarians. It's made up of 13 special books, all wrapped up in leather and written on papyrus. These precious writings were discovered near the town of Nag Hammadi in Upper Egypt back in 1945. A local farmer named Muhammad al-Saman stumbled upon 13 leather-bound papyrus codices neatly tucked away in a sealed jar. And guess what? These codices contain 52 mostly Gnostic treatises, along with some surprises like 3 works from the Corpus Hermeticum and even a partial alteration of Plato's Republic. Now, why were these texts buried? Some think they might have belonged to a nearby Pachomian monastery. Legend has it they were hidden away after St. Athanasius said a big no to using non-canonical books in 367 AD. This discovery shook up the world of modern scholarship, giving us a whole new perspective on early Christianity and Gnosticism. Guess where these ancient books are hanging out now? They've got a cozy home in the Coptic Museum in Cairo. People from all around can check them out and marvel at the wisdom of the past. So, the next time you're in Cairo, maybe swing by the Coptic Museum and say hello to these ancient books. They've been patiently waiting for curious minds like yours for almost 1,700 years. Number 9. Pergy Gold Tablets. Estimated age, 2,513 years old. All right, let's travel back to 1964 and discover a hidden gem in ancient Pergy, Italy. The Pergy tablets, dating back to around 500 BC, are like ancient golden messages from pre-Roman Italy. They're 3 special plates. These plates are super rare and hold the title of the oldest historical source documents from that time and place. These aren't your everyday plates for serving dinner. They're special and have a story. Imagine that, over 2,500 years ago. Now, these plates are like ancient letters, and they're not written in your regular language. No, they're in Etruscan and Phoenician, which makes them extra mysterious. What's written on these plates is even more interesting. They're a dedication from King Teferi Velianus to the Phoenician goddess Astarte. Isn't that cool? Fast forward to today, and these golden plates have found their home in the National Etruscan Museum in Rome. These plates are like windows into the world of the ancient Etruscan people, showing us a glimpse of what life was like back then. Number 10. Etruscan Gold Book. Estimated age, 2,673 years old. Last but not the least, let me introduce you to something truly extraordinary. Way back to around 660 BC, the Etruscan Gold Book. This ancient marvel is believed to be the oldest multi-page book in the world. Now here's where it gets really fascinating. The book is made not of paper, but of 6 sheets of pure 24-karat gold, all bound together with some fancy rings. Yeah, you heard that right. A book made of gold. Just imagine, 6 sheets of 24-karat gold, all bound together with rings. It's like a luxurious golden notebook from the ancient times. What's on these golden pages, you ask? Well, the plates are covered in Etruscan characters, a language from an ancient civilization. But that's not all. There are depictions of a horse, a horseman, a siren, a lyre, and even soldiers. It's like flipping through an ancient picture book telling stories from over 2,500 years ago. As for its current home, the Etruscan Gold Book now resides in Bulgaria's National History Museum in Sofia, thanks to the generosity of an anonymous 87-year-old donor. It's like a gift from the past, sharing the tales of the Etruscans, a mysterious people who migrated from Lydia in what is now modern Turkey, settling in central Italy nearly 3,000 years ago. So if you ever find yourself in Sofia, take a peek at this golden marvel and journey back to a time long, long ago. That wraps up our chat about these really old books. Think of them like time machines that let us peek into how people lived a long time ago. These books aren't just old stories. They're like messages from the past, telling us about different parts of our history and what people thought back then. It's like a puzzle, and there are probably more pieces out there waiting to be found. So, until we discover more cool stuff from the past, keep being curious and excited to learn. Stay tuned for more stories from a long, long time ago.